Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm so excited. I have like a seafood mountain here. I'm so excited. Like nobody's gonna bring me down today. Nobody. Okay, so I got some raw oysters, king crab leg, and I found a good size today. I got a lobster tail, some shrimp and veggies, and that's it. Now I've seen Nate, Big Guy Appetite, Mama D's World, and Angelina Spicy do all these seafoods, or not the seafoods, the oysters, and I'm like, I need to do me some. Maya hun, oh, never mind, I got it. So I got a bunch of sauces you can't see, and for Big Guy Appetite, he hates when I drink Coors Light. Well, he doesn't care if I drink Coors Light, but I got this for him. I'm so excited. So excited. Okay. Let me move some of this because this is like extra right now. Okay, I haven't had raw oysters in years and everybody's been doing it and I'm sitting over here getting jealous. Okay, so let's do this. I don't know what you guys normally put on there, but I got some Tabasco. I got some Valentina. So we're going to try that. We're going to see how this goes. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. Mmm. Yes, bitches. Nobody bring me down today. I hope this is not annoying. I have just a garbage bag here. Let me... Oh my God. What? Okay, I have some cocktail sauce here. Hell no. Hell to the no. This is awesome. Oh my God. Oh, that's so good. That's so good. Look at these tomatoes. I wish you could see that. I love cucumber. Should I do a story time? Oh. Do I have enough food? Hell yeah, let's do a story time. But first, let me do this bad boy. So, okay, let me start with this guy. Okay, I'm going to talk about my best friend, her husband, and what creep he was. We ain't going to say no names, but let's talk about that. So, me and my best friend at the time We're really good friends. And I really loved her to pieces. Loved her. She was that friend that everybody needs. The one who's a bitch and just is straight up honest with you and like won't sugarcoat it. Like if you ask her, do you look fat in those jeans? She'll tell you. She'll be like, yeah, your ass looks fat in those jeans. Or she'll say, you know, whatever. So I have some garlic butter here, but I think it's parsley, garlic, fresh garlic, obviously butter, and I put Yes, bitches. Yes. Yes. Okay, so what was I saying? Okay. I loved her because she was like real. We got along very well. We worked together at some point and then, you know, whatever. I got pregnant when I was 18 with my first daughter. And I had just finished high school. And I wanted to move on to culinary school, like after. But being pregnant and stuff, I just couldn't do it. And I moved away. So I moved to an area where my mom's family is. So where I grew up and where my best friend was and everybody I grew up with, it was about an hour and a half away. And I didn't have a car. So I never, whatever. I moved out there for a support system. Because basically, my dad kicked me out when he found out I was pregnant. Not that he kicked me out. I had moved out, but he didn't want to talk to me. He didn't want anything to do with me. Because I was pregnant before marriage. And all that shit. So that's fine. So I moved away. I mean, me and her, we kept in contact as often as we could. And, you know, like I said, we were both the same age, 18, 19. In no way, shape, or form were we both ready for, like, I wasn't ready for a long-term relationship. I was having a kid. I was in a long-term relationship, but, you know, I don't know. So, I don't know if I'm making sense. So years went by. Like I would, you know, my ex, we had one car. So, and he needed it to get to work. I was raising the kids. So when I could, I would go and visit her and she would come visit me. But we were just one of those friends that you can just talk on the phone, pick up where you left off, and all is good. So she started dating somebody, which was great. Because she was in a relationship with this guy. And it was a toxic relationship. So it took her a long time to get out of it. And then she was single for a while. But she's one of those girls that are just confident with herself. Like she doesn't need anybody. She's okay. She's okay up there. She's okay, confident, everything. So she started dating this guy, and at this time, I think they were dating for like a year, but we would talk about him and all kinds of stuff. And it wasn't like, it sounded like this was her dream guy. And I hadn't met him yet because I hadn't went out there to see her in a long while. I think think I just had my son, my second child. So yeah. She calls me up one day. And she's like, I have to tell you something. I'm like, what? First of all, he was Middle Eastern and very strict. Like, he wasn't even born here, so they were, his parents were very strict, still with that whole culture situation, you know. Anyway, so she calls me up and she's like, I'm pregnant. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, what the hell, right? And she's like, well, the thing is, you know, his parents are, you know, very strict. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what he's going to do. And I'm like, well, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, could you see yourself, like, going long-term with this guy? Because it's, like, Knuckle is so good. Because, like, when I would talk to him, like, we were having problems and stuff like that, and like, he didn't sound like an angel. So, she's like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what to do. She's European. Also first generation. But her parents were awesome. Oh my God. I loved her parents. The coolest parents you'll ever see. They were amazing people. Even she was awesome. Like, just an awesome thingamabob person. So, her parents were cool with it. They were like, we'll help you no matter what happens with this guy. So she had a good support system. I don't know what happened. They worked it out or talked it out. Her and her boyfriend. And decided that they were going to get married. What? You want a shrimp? You want a cucumber? Okay, so they decided they were gonna get married. I'm like, are you sure you want to do that? Like, and it was gonna be like not even like an engagement, and then, you know, they were gonna get married like in 2-3 months. I'm like, okay. So she asked me to be her bitch of honor. Yeah. His parents did not like her at all because they weren't the same. She wasn't the same nationality as them. They did not like her at all. I don't know why. But whatever. So I'm like, this is going to be a problem. Like, you understand that you're marrying this guy, but like, you're also marrying his family, right? Like, she's like, well, we'll figure it out, you know, but, you know, that's what is required if, you know, I want to keep the baby and all this shit. I'm like, okay. So anyway, so then we had her mom. Nice bitch. They were having a, what do you call it? Bridal shower. Was it a bridal shower or babies? No, bridal shower. Because like I said, the wedding was in like 2-3 months. Like it was going to be a quick thing. That was an explosion in my mouth. That's what she said. So we go to the shower. And this is the first time I'm meeting any of his family. And his mom loved me. I don't know why. But, you know, I kept her company and whatever. I think she was just one of those moms that, like, he was a mama's boy. Ain't nobody gonna be good enough for him. So, we get through the shower. Everything's okay. And I think we ended up staying later so I can meet her husband, or soon to be husband, because we've been best friends for years and I still haven't met this guy. Put a lot of parsley in here. So we're all having like drinks on her patio, and I'm meeting him, and he seems like a nice guy. Not like a nice guy, like, okay, let me rephrase that. You know those nice guys that are like shy and timid and that, not that kind of nice guy. A nice guy, like a cool guy, like a guy you want to hang with, you want to party with. He was funny, smart, handsome. Just didn't seem like the type to want to settle down yet. But again, I don't think she really wanted to either, but because she was pregnant, wanted to keep the baby, he was like, okay, if we're gonna then we have to get married. So I think it was just kind of a weird whole fucked up situation. So that was our the brief time we met. The next time I was going to see him was going to be on the wedding. So, sorry, I hope I don't keep hitting my mic. So the wedding comes up. His best friend is the best man, and I'm the maid of honor. So I've never met this guy, and this guy's single. I was in a relationship. I just had my son, my little one was maybe 6-7 months old. And my ex at the time was supposed to come to the wedding with me as my plus one. But he had a prior engagement because this, again, wedding was planned last minute. Now, my ex had taken the kids with him because his mom was gonna watch a kid. So this was like kind of awesome because number one, she got married at this hotel in downtown, and I had to stay there. So because I lived, like I said, an hour or so far away, I didn't have a vehicle, and it was a nice hotel. And she just booked a banquet hall in the basement there. So I'm like, okay, I didn't really want to go alone, but I'm alone. I don't have kids. I'm going to drink. I'm going to dance. I'm going to eat like a freaking pig. And I'm going to have a fine time. I'm going to sleep in this luxury bed. I was, whatever. But you know how weddings are. I'm not the type, I don't bullshit. I'm in a relationship, I'm not beating around the bush here. So the best man is obviously kind of, he's single, and I'm the, we got to dance together and blah, 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 sit together. So he was hitting on me the whole night. And I'm like, dude, you're a nice guy. But no, this is not happening. Okay? Because, no. Well, that's fine. But man, I got smashed. Which was probably stupid. I got drunk, and I'm not talking so drunk where I was making a complete idiot of myself. It was I was a good tipsy. I really should have planned for this. See, I do this all the time. I decide to have a story last minute, and then So, where was I? Yeah. I think at the time of the wedding, she must have been 5 months pregnant. 5 or 6, my girlfriend. So I was trying to help her as much too, because she wasn't feeling that well. How shitty is that though? You're getting married, you're pregnant, can't drink. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I've never been married, never had a wedding, so I'd like to have at least a couple of drinks. But she had to do whatever. No, I don't remember. Did she go on her honeymoon after? Right after? I think so. Maybe a day or two later. So I better I'm saving these king crabs for a special occasion, but I literally have 2 there. Yes, bitch. Are you gonna come out? Okay. So basically through the whole wedding, running around for her, helping her this, helping her that, trying to deal with this best man that was being a little bit he wasn't, I'm gonna be honest, he was hitting on me, but he wasn't being disrespectful. He's being upfront about it. He was, I don't know, maybe he was, now that I think about it, he was kind of being a little bit pushy, and I'm it's not going to happen, but it didn't prevent him from trying. So, because he's oh, your boyfriend's not here. Nobody's going to know. Shut up. So, actually, my girlfriend, the one that was getting married, started noticing, this guy was bugging me. And she, actually went to her husband and she said, tell him to stop bugging my friend. Because it's not going to happen. So, I guess her husband, her new husband, told him to knock it off. I'm like, don't worry. And he's like, if it bugs you, let me know. Like, he was joking around. I'm like, no, it's okay. Reception was winding down. So people were, I think everybody had left. It was just like the bridal party and like mom of the bride and those kind of people were left. So we were all like sitting on the patio outside drinking and smoking. And she was out there too. My girlfriend. She's getting tired. She's like, let's wrap it up. Go. And she had the bridal suite. She's like, let's go all hang out up there. I'm like, okay. So we all went upstairs. And we were smoking cigars and drinking. Maybe we weren't smoking because I remember we had to be outside to smoke. Anyway, we were upstairs in her hotel room with everybody. And her husband, her new husband, comes up to me. And he says, I know you and your, at the time, my boyfriend, which is now my ex. He was, he's the father of my kids, or two of my kids. He says, I know you guys are having problems, because I guess my girlfriend would talk about her shit to her husband. Like, if you ever need money, if you ever need a place to stay, blah, 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 you come, you hit me up. I'm like, I'm drunk. I'm like, oh my God, thank you. That's like so nice. I'm like, I'm so glad she found you. And blah, blah, blah. And he's like, no, I'm serious. Like, he's like, just, if you need anything ever, just let me know. I'm like, okay. So I was hanging with my girlfriend. I'm like, oh, your husband pulled me aside and said all this. She's like, yeah, I tell him everything. Like, he's probably just concerned and all that shenanigan. Did I finish all my tomatoes? No, I did not. What? Oh, there's two. So this is when this is what I remember. Okay, first of all, this is a long time ago, like 15 years ago. I don't know, 14 years ago. So I remember being outside because we were smoking. And it wasn't all of us. Because I think everybody had gone to bed. Maybe there was like 5 of us. My girlfriend included was there. We were all sitting outside on the patio smoking. Best man is still there. So this is where it gets kind of fucked up. I'm like, guys, I'm done. I'm done for tonight. I need to go to bed. So whatever. And my girlfriend, the one who just got married, like still literally wearing her wedding dress, says to her husband, can you walk her to her room? Because she's fucking drunk. And I just want to make sure she gets in okay. And I'm like, honestly, at this point, like I was buzzing, but it wasn't that bad. Like I was just done. I wanted to crash. So the best man's like, no, I will walk her to her room. And like my girlfriend's like, no, my husband will bring her to her room, because she didn't trust him at this point. He was hitting on me the whole night. So I'm like, no, honestly, I'll be fine by myself. Like, I can walk myself. She's like, no. Okay. So, I'm like, fine, let me just go. So I take off my shoes and I'm walking, because I didn't want to be walking in heels. I was walking in my bare feet. I got my hotel key card ready. So as soon as I get to my room, I'm done. Like, I'm in and I'm going to bed. So as I'm walking to the room, me and her husband are shooting the shit. Thank you so much for having me. You know, congratulations. Thank you for walking me to my room. All that bullshit. Oh, no problem. Blah, blah, blah. So we get to my room. And you know, like, even before he walked me to my room, when this was all happening, she's like, oh, walk her to her room. I'm like, no, I don't want him to walk. I really didn't want him to walk me to my room. Not that I'm saying I didn't trust him or anything. You just get those vibes, or you just get a feeling sometimes. I didn't want him walking, and that's why I kept on insisting, no. Okay. I understand her logic, but this is fucked up. So, I had this, like, feeling. I'm like, okay, I'm going to walk in front of him so I can just open my room and get in. Oh my God. I don't think anything could, like, kill my mood right now. Okay, so anyway. So I get to the hotel door. He's, like, right up my ass here. Over my shoulder. I'm trying to, like, unlock the door. And I have my hands full. I have my shoes in my hands. I have purse. I have shit. I have this. So, I'm fumbling with the key. I get the door open. And he, like, holds the door open. And I'm like, I walk inside. I grab the door to kind of shut it. And he walks in. Pushes past me. I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm like, I'm like... And I'm, like, kind of, like, brushing it off, like, what are you doing, right? And he's like, well, let's, you know, chat or whatever. He's like, I just want to make sure you're okay. I'm like, I'm totally fine. Like, you can go. So, he's, like, just kind of tiptoeing at this point. Like, just talking, like, kind of not trying to freak me out. And I already know what's gonna fucking happen. And I'm like, this can't be fucking happening. They literally just got married. No. So, okay, now it's going to kind of get dark. Maybe I shouldn't have talked about this. I don't know. Anyway, who cares? He starts coming up to me, trying to kiss me, pins me up against the wall. And I'm like, like, no, hell no, this is not happening. And I'm, like, kind of pushing him off. And I'm like, I'm like, talking. I'm talking it out. I'm talking out loud. I'm saying, because he's drunk too. I'm not that kind of drunk where he's so fucked up. He's just like a good drunk. So I'm just talking out loud. I'm like, what are you doing? You just got married. You have a baby on the way. Literally, it's your wedding night. You should be going back. You have friends down there. Everybody's waiting for you. I said, don't waste your time up here. And he's like, oh, but he's like trying to sweet talk me. You're so pretty, or you're so. And at the time, I'm not going to lie, I've had a breast reduction. I'll talk about that in another video maybe. I was huge, like abnormally huge. Like so abnormal. Like I used to really get made fun of when I was growing up about them. And, I've had breast reduction surgery since then. But at that time, I still had huge knockers. And he was like, oh, those breasts are so big and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just talking it out. I'm like, okay, but you don't really want to do this. And, I got to call my husband. I told him I would call him as soon as I got to my, like not my husband, but my man at the time. I'm like, I'd call him as soon as I got back to my room. And he's like, oh, you don't have to call him right now. And blah, blah, blah. But then he started getting aggressive. Hand on me. And I'm like, no. And I started getting mad. I'm alone with this guy. I didn't know what to do. I wouldn't be able to try to fight him off. I was scared shitless. Because what he was saying. I'm like, I'm still trying to like talk it out and try and keep him there talking as long as I can without him doing anything. And he's like, basically he was getting pissed because I wasn't cooperating. Like he thought like this was going to be easy. It was a done deal or whatever. And he'd be in and out. But now he's getting pissed. And I'm like, this is not going to happen. Like, it's not going to happen. I'm not going to. He's like, oh, this is going to happen whether you like it or not. And I'm freaking out. And I'm like, oh, come on. I'm like, come on. Don't talk like that. Like, you're, that's so like beneath you. Like, whatever. Anyway, what ends up happening is he was gone for quite a bit of time. I can't remember exactly the time. It could have been half an hour or so. Like, he was supposed to just walk me to my room and come back. It's like literally going from the lobby to a floor and coming back down. He was gone for like maybe half an hour. So, of course, my girlfriend's looking for him. So, she calls me. Thank fucking God. And I didn't know what to say because I didn't want her feeling bad because or getting creeped out, or I don't know. How do you say this? She's calling my room on her wedding night looking for her husband. I didn't want her to feel bad. Like, I don't know, saying or getting suspicious or getting this, but then at the same time, like, what the fuck? Like, he's being a total douchebag. So, he's giving me a look. And I'm like, you know what? I said, she's like, do you know where he is? I'm like, yeah, he's just leaving. He's right here. I said, he was just shooting the shit. He was just, whatever. And she's like, oh, okay. Can you do me a favor? Can you tell him to bring me a toothbrush if you have an extra one? I'm like, sure. Or like ask like stop at the lobby and get I don't know. And so I said, yeah, no problem. I'll tell him right now. And I'm like, hey, she needs this. So she heard him on the phone. So he had really at that point no choice but to leave. But again, I know it doesn't really sound that scary. I didn't make it seem that scary. But in that moment, he was pretty aggressive physically and verbally. And this is like what I could remember. And I was very upset. Like, what the fuck do you do now? You have your friend who's like 5-6 months pregnant, just got married to this guy. Like, what do you do? Yeah, nothing really ended up happening except that, but to me that was enough to cause concern. And so what I did, it was like 3-4 o'clock in the morning. I ended up calling my ex at the time, and I was crying. Like, I was so upset because I had to leave with them in the morning. Like, they were my ride. So I called my ex, and I told him, I'm like, can you come pick me up? He was like in a different country. Like, he could have driven, but it was like hours, you know. He wasn't anywhere nearby. I'm not blaming him, but honestly, if I was him, I would have driven my ass to come pick my ass up, but that's here nor there. I'm like, what do I do? And he's like, okay, well, it's like late. It was like 3-4 o'clock in the morning. He's like, whatever, just, go home with them in the morning. And we'll see. I wanted to call the police. I wanted to call my dad. Like, I wanted to call so many people. I didn't know. I didn't want to stay there. I definitely didn't want to leave there with them in the morning. But if I didn't leave with them, my girlfriend would have been like, what the fuck? I'm not the type of well, sometimes I will act impulsively, but when it comes to a situation like this, I really wanted to, like, just think about it. I didn't want my girlfriend married to this douchebag. But then, we were all drinking and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, but I wasn't behaving that way. I wasn't behaving like a fucking perv. I'm getting pretty full. I have one left here. I still have that. Holy fuck. So whatever, I just dealt with it. I didn't sleep the whole night. We left all together in the morning. It was awkward as fuck. Finally, I made it home, and then, like, me and my ex at the time talked it out. And he was like, I feel like something, like, he almost kind of blamed me. Also, he's like, something must have happened because, like, first of all, you were calling me hysterically. I'm like, yeah, something did happen. That's what happened. I told you the truth. And he thought maybe I instigated it. I'm like, why would I call you and tell you that? Like, why would I call you and tell you he's doing, like, why would I confess, like, whatever happened you wouldn't have known about. So, like, why would I just go and divulge that information? But anyway, that's fine. I think on his side, he was like, because time had passed, like weeks. And this bothered me because, again, I'm talking to my girlfriend frequently. And this was always in the back of my freaking head. And especially, like, I'm talking weeks later, it's still fresh on your mind. What bothered my ex was that I didn't say anything to her that night. It started affecting my relationship because this really bothered him that I didn't say anything to her. And I wanted to tell her. It's not that I wasn't going to tell her. I needed to be ready. Because of one, that might be the last time I ever speak to her. And she was my best friend. Okay? Number two, I could be blamed. You never know. My ex did it. There was, number three, she would continue to be married with him and, I don't know, figure shit out. Or she leaves him and, like, is still pregnant, having a baby, and all that crap. So I said, like, don't pressure me to tell her. Like, I'll tell her when I'm ready. Okay? It's not like it was a mistake I made and I had to confess to the mistake. I was a victim of a situation. And I wasn't trying to hide information. I just needed to process this in my fucking head. And I also needed to deal with shit. And maybe even be the cause of, not the cause, I know it wasn't my fault. But, again, she's pregnant. Maybe this baby's going to grow up without a father. Like, I don't fucking know. So. But he was really getting on my ass about it. We were fighting over it. And I just said to myself, I'm like, okay, you know what? And it was getting bad because when I would start getting anxiety. You know how when you talk to your girlfriends, the girlfriends you really love, you enjoy that time. It was like that with me and her, and I love that. But, like, it was getting to a point where she was calling and I would get anxiety over it. And really bad anxiety. This is probably, and not to mention, this is when my anxiety started getting really bad in my life as well. So on top of that, I had this. And so I said to myself in my head, I'm like, you know what? When we talk on the phone, because if your man's a scumbag, you secretly know, okay? If he's a piece of shit, you're going to know. Most of the time. I'm like, if she's calling me and saying, oh my God, like, he's the best guy ever since we got married, like, he comes home early from work, he brings me flowers, he makes me dinner, he cooks for me, we're out every night together, we spend every second of every day together. And if she was talking like that, then you know what? I'm like, you know what? It was a mistake. He was drunk. Whatever. But if she's calling me and it's like bitch fest after bitch fest and after bitch fest, I'm like, I'm going to just tell her. And I'm like, I don't care, because I'd rather her know, and then whatever. With that information, she could do so many things. So I can't think for her and say, okay, she's not going to be my friend anymore, or she's going to leave him. Like, I can't make those assumptions. I just have information that I feel she should know. And I felt like a big piece of shit for telling her. But so she had called me and we were shooting the shit, and she was complaining about her husband, like saying, like, and it wasn't like, oh, he doesn't pick up the trash. No, he doesn't come home till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. She'll go out looking for him, and he's at his office, and there's like 15 chicks sitting there in there, and they're all drinking and having a good time, and he's like with them all. It was like that. It wasn't like him being a dick, not picking up the trash. It was like him doing things that he shouldn't be doing over again. So obviously this is like some kind of pattern for this dude. And she's like, I don't know what to do. I'm like, you know what? I have something to tell you. And I'm like, I hope you can understand on so many levels. And like I said, this wasn't like 2 years later. She still was pregnant. Like, she hadn't even had the baby yet. This was like a month, maybe 2 months after her marriage, that I decided to tell her. I was so nervous. And I said, look, this is what happened on the wedding night. He was a total ass. Like, I was scared for my life. And she's like, holy fuck. What bugs me is like me and her mom and her dad loved each other. Like me and her mom loved me. I loved her mom. Same with her dad. Like, whatever. And I told her what happened. And I said, look, this has been putting a strain on my relationship, because that night that it happened, I told my boyfriend at the time, he's been pushing me to tell you. I said, I didn't know what to do because you're pregnant, just got married. I don't know. I'm like, he was drinking. We were all drinking, but, I wasn't acting like an idiot. And I don't know. I'm like, I just felt really bad. Like, I didn't want to, I don't know. I'm just like, no, I get it. Like, whatever. I'm like, but I said, and I told her, I said, I thought in my head, I would tell you if he's being like a nice guy and like whatever, then I could pass it off as a mistake, like a one-time thing. But I'm like, if you're calling me and he's like being a douchebag, I'm like, I'm just going to straight up say it. And I'm like, I promised myself I would tell you, and so I'm telling you. And she's like, yeah, okay, no problem. And we hung up the phone, and she wanted to go obviously talk to her husband about it, talk to her mom about it, and like think it out. We spoke not long after, and she's like, he denied it, obviously. I'm like, of course he's going to deny it. I'm like, I told my ex at that time right away. I'm like, you can check the phone logs. You can ask him yourself what I told him. Or would I make that up in a split second? So he denied it, and then he like lied and said, oh, I was drinking, I couldn't remember, blah, blah, blah. But then like his story wasn't straight. She was telling me, like, he was saying like, yeah, but she said that. And she's like, yeah, but you don't remember. Like, his story was all over the place. But then like, I remember my friend mentioning something like, oh, my mom said like she finds this whole situation weird because, again, like, I didn't say anything or whatever. So again, I had somebody else blaming me. I'm like, he's quiet. Obviously, he hasn't said anything. I'm the only one who's come out with it. If I did something, why would I confess to something if it's already quiet? Like, I don't get it. And I know in my heart, like, she ended up staying with him. I'm not sure if she's still with him today. But at that time, she was still with him. And we remained friends. And I think I had even went to her house after to go visit. After she had the baby. I was so nervous. Because I told her straight up, I'm like, I don't want to see your husband. She's like, no, he'll be at work. So we tried to maintain a friendship after. And that was the shitty part because I really liked her and I still wanted to, you know, have that friendship with her, but he fucked that all up. Excuse me. He fucked that all up and we just started drifting apart. Like I started going to, and at that time I told you my anxiety was coming back really badly. I was suffering from really bad depression. And then I had left my ex at that time and I took my kids and I was a single mom for a time being. And I was on my own suffering from depression, going through all this shit. And the good thing was I had moved closer to her because I was so far away before. But so I'd call her and I'd be like, you know, talking to her and whatever, and talking about my feelings and shit like that, my mental health. And she literally full on chewed my asshole out. Like gave me a full on lecture. And she's like, just snap out of it. Blah, blah, blah. Like you're a grown woman. Why are you acting like this? I'm like, you know what? I don't know. Like, I'm like, I can't be around this chick. I just can't. So, things definitely got weird after that whole incident and after I told her. Well, we tried to maintain a friendship, but I think she had so much resentment and just all kinds of things. And then our friendship wasn't the same and I just couldn't deal anymore with that. And then we just stopped talking. But, I mean, whatever. I liked her. I loved her at the time. No, I still love her. You don't stop loving somebody. I just hope she's happy and that douchebag figured out his shit because that's the thing. She was gorgeous. She was gorgeous, smart, confident person. And it just blew my mind. How some guys are never fucking happy. Not just guys. Girls are like that too. Some people are just never happy with what they have. But I'm so full. I think this is the most I've eaten on my channel. And I do have some LaClaw here, but like I feel like I need to do this part. Like this is the part everybody wants to see. So full. It's still good though. Well, peeps, man. Don't rush into relationships. I'm pretty sure she knew he was a douchebag before. but because she was pregnant and all that shit, sometimes you just close your eyes. But I'm full up to here. Like, it's right up to here. I'm so full. So I'm done. I hope I didn't bore you. I hope I didn't bore you to death. But anyway, I love you guys. If you're still around, holy shit, you're a trooper. Anyway, love you guys. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.